Hello, everyone. This is Buddha Zen Wisdom, here to accompany you every day. I'm an 80-year-old living alone, and over the years, I've come to realize a profound truth about finding happiness in old age. It's not what I once thought it would be. Life, whether long or short, is a journey filled with ups and downs. In our younger years, we pour all our energy into our children, worrying about them, running around for them, and giving them everything we have. But as time etches wrinkles on our foreheads and our steps become unsteady, we realize that the children we once relied on are now busy with their own lives, often drifting further away. Does old age really depend on our children? I used to believe so, but now I feel the harsh reality of life. At 80, I've been living alone for over a decade. Looking back, I've come to understand that true reliance isn't on our children, but on the savings we've tucked away for our golden years. I'm 80 now, and I receive a monthly pension of over $7,000. My spouse passed away more than 10 years ago from cancer. Since then, I've been living alone. I have 2 sons and a daughter. Although I miss them dearly, we rarely see each other. They're always busy with work, their families, and their children. So busy that they hardly have time to visit or even call. I often worry that if I were to suddenly fall ill and pass away at home, it might take months before they even find out. I used to think that having 3 children would guarantee a comfortable old age. But now, at 80, when I need them the most, I've sadly realized that I can't rely on any of them. When my spouse was alive, the kids would often come over for meals and chats. But after my spouse passed, their visits became rare. They'd say there was no point in coming since no one would cook for them. I feel they become selfish, not considering my feelings. They don't understand how lonely and isolated I feel, living alone in this big house. Back in the day, raising 3 children was no easy feat with no help from elderly relatives. Life was especially tough. Despite financial struggles, I always put my children first. If there was meat on the table, I wouldn't touch it, leaving it all for the kids. My spouse did the same, claiming not to like meat, so the kids could have it all. In truth, we loved meat, but we sacrificed to give our children the best. Once the kids were grown, we had to save for their weddings. To give them grand weddings, we took on debt. To pay it off, my spouse and I worked tirelessly even after retirement. My spouse worked at a restaurant, and I took a night shift as a security guard at a factory. Though we lived on the same roof, we barely saw each other. Life was hard, but as long as our children were happy, we were content. We finally paid off our debts when I was 65, and my spouse was 60. For a few years, we enjoyed a peaceful life, free from financial burdens. We even traveled by train to see new places. But those good times only lasted 3 years before my spouse was diagnosed with late-stage stomach cancer. Holding the diagnosis, I was heartbroken. I cursed fate for being so cruel to such a kind soul. During my spouse's hospitalization, the children only visited occasionally, never staying to help. They claimed they were too busy with work and family. The burden of care fell entirely on me. My spouse was in constant pain, refusing to eat or sleep, just moaning in discomfort. I was so distraught that I couldn't eat or sleep either. I spent every moment by their side, preparing soft foods, massaging their body, hoping to ease their suffering. In those months, I lost 20 pounds, becoming so frail that a strong breeze could knock me over. 6 months later, my spouse passed away, leaving me alone in this world. I was consumed by grief for a long time before I could slowly return to normal life. Now at 80, my back is hunched, my legs are weak, and I can barely walk without getting winded. I know my days of self-sufficiency are numbered. I asked my 3 children if I could take turns living with them. I explained that I couldn't live alone anymore. What if I fell and couldn't even call for help? None of them agreed. They all said they were too busy with work and family to care for me. Even when I told them I didn't need much, just a warm meal, they still refused. Though disappointed, I had to keep living. I hired a part-time caregiver who comes in the morning to cook, clean, and do laundry, leaving after dinner. I once believed that with 3 children, I'd never need a nursing home. I thought I'd spend my final years comfortably under their care. But now at 80, I've realized that old age doesn't depend on children. It depends on money. Children may let you down, but money won't. With so many senior care options available, as long as you have savings, you'll be fine. In the end, life is about relying on yourself. We spend our youth worrying about our children, only to find in old age that they may not be our ultimate support. What truly ensures a peaceful, dignified, and happy old age is good health, financial stability, and a clear mind. Relying on children is less reliable than relying on yourself. Planning for retirement early, maintaining financial independence, and learning to enjoy life are the greatest assurances for your later years. I hope every elderly person can see this reality and live with dignity and happiness. I once thought having sons or daughters made no difference, but a recent hospital stay showed me the stark contrast. I'm 68 and my spouse is 73. We have a son and a daughter. Our son, the eldest, is 40 and our daughter, the youngest, is 38. When they were young, we treated them equally, never favoring one over the other. Despite societal pressure to prioritize sons, we believed both were equally important. We gave them the same opportunities. Our son got a down payment for his wedding, and we planned to do the same for our daughter. But when she got pregnant and needed to marry quickly, we had to borrow $30,000 to give her a proper wedding and $20,000 as a start for her new family. As time passed, my spouse and I grew older and weaker. We tried not to burden our children, but when I slipped on a watermelon peel and broke both legs, I had no choice but to ask for help. Our son came immediately, bringing fruit and flowers. His wife even brought homemade soup. But our daughter arrived late, explaining she had to cook dinner for her family first. When I suggested staying with each of them for 2 months, my son agreed, but my daughter hesitated, saying her house was too small and her son was preparing for exams. Her husband even admitted he didn't like having outsiders at home. This experience made me realize that sons and daughters are not the same. Sons, as heads of their households, have more authority in caring for parents, while daughters must consider their husband's opinions. Many believe daughters are more attentive, but reality often proves otherwise. Only when they grow old will they truly understand the difference. A 78-year-old once advised children not to do 3 things to their aging parents, no matter how well-intentioned. First, don't force parents to change their habits, even if it's for their own good. Second, don't take control of their finances. Money represents security and dignity in old age. Third, respect their wishes regarding medical treatment. Forcing life-prolonging measures can strip them of dignity and cause unnecessary suffering. True filial piety isn't about providing the best material conditions, but respecting parents' choices and allowing them to live as they wish. It's about understanding, compromise, and mutual respect. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so we can accompany you every day. Let's grow, find happiness, and age gracefully together. See you next time.